It is proudly brutal and famously macho, and yet the sport of rugby league is proving an unlikely weapon in the fight against domestic and sexual violence in one of the toughest places on earth to be a woman. Rugby league is Papua New Guinea's national sport. Horrific gender violence is its national shame. And while Australia's biggest national rugby league stars have, as usual, been mobbed by massive crowds upon arrival in league-obsessed PNG ahead of the annual Prime Minister's match, this time they've had to share the limelight, not only with their Australian female counterparts, the Jillaroos, but the newly formed Papua New Guinea women's national team. The Orchids, as these pioneering women are known, are demanding respect and getting it. And today, they play their historic first international match. Aaron Kearney is in Port Moresby in the countdown to kick-off.
The $1 million men of Australian Rugby League are still being mobbed wherever they go in Port Moresby ahead of today's Prime Minister's 13 match against Papua New Guinea. But they aren't the only game in town anymore. These children, at a League Belong Life Sport for Development session, have a new hero, Janet Michael, from the newly formed PNG Orchids National Women's Rugby League team. The diminutive front row forward is gradually adjusting to her newfound celebrity.
They come to me, they give me a support. They say, play for the best of your country. They respect me, and some of the girls, they come along, share with me, like they're giving us the support, the morale, play strong and stuff like that.
The Orchids will play their historic first international against the Australian Jillaroos at PNG's National Football Stadium as part of a double-header with the men. Few expect them to win. But this game is about respect, not results.
Daisy, what does this say on the back of his shirt?
Strong player men respect Mary.
What does that mean?
I mean, strong men respect women.
Statistics vary, but credible studies suggest 7 in 10 PNG women are survivors of domestic violence. Rape is common. Every player who will run out for the Orchids is a survivor. So too, League Belong Life National Coordinator Ruta Omanefo.
Some would have come out from domestic violence from their partners. And yeah, so I can't say all of them don't have tough upbringing. Everyone has gone through violence, even myself.
Rugby league, with its own history of violence, may seem an unlikely candidate to lead the charge for change. But the game is PNG's national obsession. And in a country with more than 800 dialects, Ruta says it's the one language everyone understands.
Growing up, I've seen violence in rugby league, spectators fight, whole marriages breaking up because of the state of origin. Even players fight against each other, which turns out to be a tribal war in villages or in the communities. So rugby league means a lot, and when we use this sport, people will see now that the sport has changed, and our favorite players we look up to, they're becoming ambassadors, they're becoming good role models.
Orchids captain and lock forward Kathy Nayup is just that.
Rugby league in our culture, in our country, it's a male-dominated sport which is only played by men before. And people think that only men, muscular men, strong men, it's a sport for you. If you're a rugby player, you get to be respected, and it's our national sport, that's why. So when ladies play this sport, we're going to be seen as equal to the men, and that will surely get the message across to the nation that women are equal to men.
Alan Tung is a household name in Papua New Guinea after playing more than 200 games for the Canberra Raiders in the National Rugby League. He is running Voice Against Violence workshops for national and local teams here.
We often talk in rugby league about that ripple effect, about how little actions can have this huge impact on our teammates and our fans, communities, coaching staff, and by them as individuals, as rugby league players, which are held in such high regard in this country, how they can be that leader of change and really empower them to make those right decisions and take these messages back to their football clubs, their local football clubs, their local communities, their families, and be the leaders of change in this space.
The Orchids will return to their villages after today's game against the Jillaroos and step up fundraising efforts in the hope of competing in the upcoming Rugby League World Cup. But for the league-loving children of PNG, as of today, there are 2 sets of national heroes to chant for.
that empowerment of women that, you know what, we have a huge role and we are beside the men in our community. You know what, it's not going to be the wholly and solely way of fixing and addressing this problem, but it's a huge step forward. And the emotion and that energy and that respect that is going to be shown towards these women on this national stage, this is groundbreaking what's going on.